What's going on, guys? This is All Day DFS checking back in with you with the After Dark edition, late night edition, early look to the next day edition. I hope y'all guys cashed in big because I sure didn't. It was a terrible night for me. I didn't have not one winner, and I seen that was the case for a lot of people across multiple chat rooms that I'm in. I seen a lot of picks on Twitter that were locks, and it just didn't happen. Tonight was just a terrible night. But I hope y'all guys had something different, and I hope y'all guys won because I sure didn't. The Charlotte guys did not come through at all. PJ Washington, I don't think I ever want to play him again. It was ridiculous. He scored 40 last night. Tonight he scored 2. Well, I think that's what it was. He ended up with, because last time I checked was like early in the fourth quarter, and I didn't even want to look anymore because it was just disgusting. He only had 2 points. Let me know down below how y'all guys did. Let me know if y'all guys had a winning night. Let me know if y'all played, pretty much the same thing I did. And I really do apologize if anybody, picked a lot of my picks earlier. I woke up, I swear I woke up with Jared Allen on my mind. I said he killed Houston last game. Houston don't have anybody to cover him. He's just going to dominate. And it just didn't happen. Colin Sexton and Garland decided to hog the ball up all night and shoot. Like, I was just looking at it through the game cast on ESPN, and all I seen was Sexton Garland. Like, that's all they were doing, was just taking all the shots. And they weren't, he didn't get involved in the offense like he should have, like he did last game against Houston. And the Charlotte guys, I really thought that they were going to come through with Hayward out, Zeller out, PJ Washington scoring 40 last night and not doing nothing tonight. Monk didn't do nothing. It was just terrible. Jamal Murray, decided to not play tonight. Had it, went under. Just terrible. It just left me speechless. Like, I even seen some people talking about that they're not going to play again until after the All-Star break, just because that the players are just kind of like, they're just ready to go on break. Like, they're not even playing like they're supposed to or whatever. I mean, it was just crazy. It's just crazy with the blowouts, with the rotations, with players, playing great one night. They play great one night, kill it one night, and you're like, okay, they're going to carry that momentum over to the next day, and they totally just stink it up the next day, and you're like, what the heck? Like, you just dominated last night. You just killed it. So I'm going to start being more cautious about that, just because a player had a big game the night before, or maybe even against that team the last time. I'm just going to be more cautious about it because it was just a crazy night. And guys, this is just a little advice from me. I'm learning, I don't consider myself a guru. I don't consider myself an expert. I'm still learning every day like you guys. But this is what I've been seeing that I'm doing, I think, wrong. Is like today, I was just so high on Jared Allen. And I should have learned my lesson from Tobias Harris. But I was just like 100% sure Jared Allen could score 16 points and could get over 43 versus Houston. And I put him on pretty much almost every line that I bet it big on, because I'll do some big bets and then I'll do some little bets. But I had him on all my big money bets because I just was for sure that he was going to hit it. Him, Monk, PJ Washington, I'm like, this is 100% a lock. And so what I'm trying to say is just, even if you're 100% confident, on somebody, don't run them on all your lines, because just got to remember, especially if you do power plays, if you do like a 4-pick power, 3-pick power, just remember, if that one player messes up and you have them on multiple lines, it just messed up all your lines, unless, you flexed it and you still have a chance of winning something. But that's just a little advice from me. But again, I hope y'all guys did a lot better. And like I said, let me know below how it went for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. As we know, PrizePicks puts 8 players on the board, overnight, usually until the next day. So we got our 8 players on the board. First, we got Ja Morant versus Washington, which that already seems like a good matchup to me. So yeah, most definitely. Washington's 28th ranked overall, 27th ranked versus the point guard. Okay, so right here, Draft Dashboard only has him projected for 34.3. He only played 26 minutes last game. And they have him here for 40. So I don't know if the last game was a blowout. I'm not trying to go through a bunch of screens with y'all. So I'm not sure if the last game was a blowout. He only had 25 points. It looks like it was a blowout. Like I say, if I'm not playing a player that night, I really don't follow the game or what they got going on, and I rarely play Morant. So right now they have him at 34.3, but the matchup is is awesome. He had 57 last game versus Washington. So for me, that's a fade right now. I mean, it's either a fade or I will go over. I know they're projecting him for 34, which is like almost, it's like almost 34.3. It's like almost 6 points below what PrizePicks has him at. So, I mean, if you think that Ja can't get there, you could lock him in now, because if a lot of people going in on the under, they might bump him down to 38 tomorrow or whatever. But based on the matchup, I mean, Washington doesn't play no defense. So if I were to play Morant, I would probably go on the over, just based on the matchup, and his last game versus them was 57. But as we know, it looks like none of that matters when as we know from tonight. But for me, if I were to play him, I would play him on the over. But I don't think I'm just gonna fade it, because he's not projected over that 40 mark. But at the same time, I wouldn't go under versus Washington, because again, Washington doesn't really play any defense. Next, we got Bradley Beal versus Memphis. Now, Bradley, I like Bradley a lot. I've picked Bradley for the over a lot of times, and he hits a lot of them. So, okay, so yeah, the matchup, they're ranked 11th overall and 16th versus his position. So it's not the best matchup, but it's not a bad one either. And he is Bradley Beal, so he's projected at 50.6. And the game is at 237.5, the line, so that's really, really good. It's close to 240, so there's going to be a lot of scoring going on. I would go on the over. He's an over for me. And like I've said before, I don't know, I've had a couple people write me back and say that they take this advice and they lock in a line right now around this time before the next day, when you can get players. Like by tomorrow, Bradley Beal could be at 52. Sometimes they bump him up to 4 points. So you get Bradley Beal right now, you can get him at 48, which 48 looks really good versus Memphis. He's projected for 50. So I always try to lock in one line, even if I just throw $10 at it. I do a 4-pick power, just a little $10 4-pick power. And if I pick them early and they're really low, lower than what they're going to be the next day, I have won a few times doing that, and I've had a couple people comment and tell me that they have won doing that too. So definitely Bradley Beal on the over. Next we got Kawhi Leonard versus Boston. All right, so the matchup is definitely not a good one. The Boston Celtics are ranked 6th overall, and they're ranked 8th versus his position. The pace is it's a slow-paced game. So he's projected at 46.7. His last 5 versus Boston, he has a 49, a 50, 39, 36, 52. What was he projected for? 48. So he's been over 48 3 out of the last 5, and he's been over 48 2 out of the last 5 versus Boston. He's projected at 46.7. For me, that's a fade. I mean, I'm gonna fade it. I really don't really play Kawhi. I just never really do. He's not a favorite of mine. But again, if you like him, snatch him up now at 48. To me, if they bump him up to 50 or 52 tomorrow, I probably would play the under, just because the matchup is not a good one for him. They're good. They're good versus his position, and they're good overall. So it's not a favorable matchup. So if they bump him up any higher, I mean, I would like to go on the under on him. But as of right now, I'm not going to play him. Next, we got Jason Tatum versus the Clippers. So yeah, definitely not a good matchup for Tatum. His 3rd ranked defense overall, 1st versus his position. Again, the pace is not a good pace game. But wow, he's really smashed against the Clippers. His last 3 games, he's gone over 50, 55, 53, 51. And in his last 5 games overall, he's projected at 45. His last 5 games overall, he's gone over 45 3 times. We'll see. I mean, he's smashed against the Clippers the last 3 times. He's projected for 44.1. So based on being right there, 44.1, they have him at 45. The matchup is not a good one, but based on his last 3 games versus the Clippers, if I were to play Tatum, I would play him over based on his last 3 games versus them. So I like the over on him. Again, it could be a fade for you, could be under. They might bump him up tomorrow. So depending on what you like, if you like the under on a player, you might want to wait till the next day, because they might bump him up. So if they bump him up, you get even, you might get 2 points even higher, and then you can play the under. But for me, I would play the over on Tatum. Next, we got Trey Young versus Miami. So yeah, it's not a good matchup. They're ranked 8th overall, 6th versus his position. So he just finished playing Miami. He only had a 37. So his last 5 versus Miami, 37, 66, 35, 0, and 11. And so he's what is he projected at? 43. He's only gone over 43. Oh, he's gone over 43 3 out of the last 5 games. He's gone over 43. He's projected at 44.8. Now I took the over the other night, and I got him early, and it burned me because he only had 37. But I still like him for the over. I don't think I've ever went under on Trey Young. I just don't. I just know that he can light it up at any minute, and he gets a lot of assists. And if I were to play Young, I would play him on the over. Probably be one of the picks that I make tonight on the over. Next, we got Bam versus Atlanta. We just played Atlanta. So they're 17th ranked overall, but 6th versus his position. And Jimmy Butler is questionable. That's why he's not on the board. So Jimmy Butler is questionable, so he might not play tomorrow. So they have him at 42 versus Atlanta. Last game he had 43, so he went over 70, 62. So he's gone over 4 out of 5 times versus Atlanta. And in his last 5 games, he's gone over 42, 4 out of 5. So he's definitely looking good for the over, and they have him projected at 43.3 here on Draft Dashboard. So yeah, that's an over for me, and it'll definitely be one of my picks that I picked tonight. So Bam's an over for me versus Atlanta. Next we got Julius Randle versus San Antonio. Oh, it goes right here. Alright, so they're ranked 18th overall, 14th versus his position. The pace is not a good one. His last 5 versus San Antonio, he has a 24, a 55, and a 56. They got him at 44. His last 5 games overall, he's been over 44. He's hit 44 or gone over 4 out of 5 times. They project him at 44.6, so they like him for the over. So yeah, I would pick Randall right now and pick him over. Once they bump him up tomorrow, if they bump him up to 46, it's a fade for me. But right now, I like him on the over. I like him at 44. Next, we got DeMar DeRozan versus the Knicks. Where are you, DeMar? Where do they have you over here? I see DeMar DeRozan everywhere. Some people put him as a power forward, small forward. So we're here to have him as a shooting guard. Definitely not a good matchup. Ranked 4th overall, and then 4th versus his position. They have him projected for 37.5. PrizePicks has him at 38, so he's slightly under. Again, the pace is not a good one. His last 5 versus New York, 37, 23, 31, 55, and 20. So he's only gone over once the last 5 versus New York. His last 5 overall, he's only gone over twice. He's gone over 38 twice. So 37.5 is not a good matchup for him. If it was me, I would go on the under. I would play him on the under. But again, since it's an under pick, you might want to wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow morning you could wake up and they could have DeRozan at 40. I think that's what he was today versus Brooklyn. So if you like him on the under, wait till tomorrow. So me, myself, if I were to play him, I wouldn't play him right now. I just feel he's going to go under. New York's a tough defense, and if he were to go under, it would be against New York. So I would feel good picking him on the under, but I would wait till tomorrow to see if they bump him up, and then I would hit the under. So if I were to make a 4-pick line for tonight, which guys, I'm doing a 4-pick line just because it's a $10 one. I like to do little $10 bets here and there, but if you're betting any kind of big money, I would strongly suggest not to do a 4-pick power. I mean, you see people that win 4-pick powers. Yeah, there's little screenshots everywhere of 4-pick power winners, but you just don't know behind with that one pick, that one 4-pick power that won. We don't know how many lost. It could have been 10 that lost. I feel myself like doing a 4-pick power is almost like throwing away your money. I mean, again, they hit. I've hit them. Like I said, just last week I hit 2 just doing the little $10 ones. It's possible. It's not impossible, but it's four players that have to be right. So I recommend again, depending on your bankroll, if you just have money like that, or if you're just doing little, like I said, $10 bets here or there. If you're not doing the little ones or whatever, you can do a 5-pick flex. I mean, if you're picking four players and they all have to be right, what is it adding one more? If you got one more player out there that you feel good about, do a 5-pick flex. If you get them all right, you're still going to get that 10 times money. But if you get one wrong or two wrong, you still get something back. So that's my advice. 4-pick powers are, I think, the most difficult. Obviously, you can't do a 5-pick power, so 4-pick power is the most difficult, bet to win in the game. But I just do it because, like I said, I just throw $10 at it. I always do it every single night. I throw $10 at a 4-pick play, and like I said, it's been worth it for me because I've won multiple times doing it. So if I had to pick four tonight, my four would be Bradley Beal, Bam, yeah, I would have to go with Trey. I can't, and I like the matchup better for Julius. So that would be my four right there. Bradley, Bam, Trey, and Julius Randle. So guys, that's all I have for y'all guys tonight. Again, we got the Discord link below. Come and join our Discord team if you're looking to get in a chat room with multiple people talking about PrizePicks all day. It's just dedicated to PrizePicks. Come on in. We would love to have you. It's getting more and more active. We just barely started a couple days ago, so we're getting more and more members, and it's getting more active in there. We're sharing strategy, we're sharing our picks, trying to help each other make money, because why not? Why wouldn't we want to help each other? It doesn't hurt us at all to help each other make money in this game. So come and join the PrizePicks family that we have at the All Day DFS server on the Discord. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to the page, the YouTube page. I'm almost at 60 subscribers, so I want to get at least to 100 by the end of March. So if y'all guys can help me with that, it would be greatly appreciated. And again, I hope y'all guys cashed in. I'll be back tomorrow with my top 5 picks. Y'all guys have a great night.